Relocating to Canada can be quite overwhelming and you might not be aware of the next step or the next process to take. So in today's video, I'll be talking to you guys about things to do before and after coming to Canada as an immigrant. If you're new here, a massive welcome to you. Please hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to share it with your fellow adventurers. Now, let's jump into the topic. You might have noticed there's a lot of misinformation circulating lately about moving to Canada, and I want to address a few things today. This video comes from a place of caring because I want to ensure your journey to Canada is smooth, enjoyable, and ultimately successful. So, let's talk about what you need to do before and after arriving in Canada. When you're coming into Canada, right, maybe as a student or as a worker, you're going to be coming in with a visa. The visa, that travel document, is going to be printed on your passport. But when you arrive into Canada, you're going to be giving a study permit or a work permit, depending on your situation. Your study permit or your work permit doesn't guarantee you entry back into the country. I want you to be prepared and informed, so you make the best decisions for your future here. Firstly, let's talk about your journey preparation. Now, let's start with the most crucial aspect of preparation. Before you even board that flight, arm yourself with knowledge. Ensure to source information online, including YouTube, like this Easy Work Abroad channel, and Google. Learn about Canada's culture, job market, and the different pathways available to you. This knowledge will be your guiding light in times of uncertainty. It's important to consider different Canada immigration pathways. Depending on your situation, you might be arriving in Canada on a visitor visa, study permit, or even permanent residency. Each of these pathways has its own unique requirements and opportunities. If you're on a visitor visa, don't make the mistake of assuming you can just start working immediately after move to Canada. It's essential to understand that you can't work without a proper work permit. But don't worry, there are easy ways to transition from a visitor to a student or a worker. If you plan on leaving Canada for a temporary visit to your home country, you have to make sure that your study permits and your visa has not expired. And if maybe you're a permanent resident coming into Canada for the first time, you're going to be coming in with your passport, your permanent residence card. Your PR card is going to be mailed to you after a couple of weeks at the address you're going to stay. Also, the faster ways to transit from visitor visa to study permit. One fantastic option is transitioning from a visitor to a study permit holder. Pursuing higher education in Canada can offer you incredible opportunities. Do your research on institutions, program offerings, and tuition fees. And remember, studying is more than just a ticket to work. It's a chance to expand your horizons and improve your chances of staying in Canada. Visitor visa to work permit transition process. Now, let's talk about work permits. If you end a job offer with visitor visa, it's not as simple as just applying for a work permit. Your potential employer needs to get an LMIA, a labor market impact assessment, before you can proceed. This certificate ensures that hiring you won't negatively impact the Canadian labor market. So, before you start your job search, make sure you're targeting LMIA-approved positions. Also, here is the pathway to permanent residency process. Guess what? Working in Canada could be your ticket to permanent residency. If you work here for at least a year on a full-time basis, you might qualify to apply for PR. It's a significant step towards building a life in Canada. Now talk about seeking asylum in Canada. If your circumstances are particularly challenging, asylum is an option. But remember, it's not a guaranteed pathway. Your situation needs to fit specific criteria, and you'll need substantial evidence to support your case. Also, there are of-list programs for newcomers, immigrant serving organization from the Canadian government, to help newcomers or new immigrants when they initially get into Canada. They can help you with things like finding a job, finding schools that are suitable for your kids. Just basically help you settle in, and they also help give you advice on certain things that you might not be aware of. When you're initially coming to Canada as a new immigrant, they're of high importance to immigrants. And the great thing about it is that most of these organizations are supported by the government. So most of the services they render are for free. What about your financial preparation and settle down in Canada? Before you even step foot in Canada, ensure you're financially prepared. You need funds for accommodation, which is crucial. Having a safe place to stay is essential, and having a reliable contact, like a friend or relative, can make a world of difference. Whenever you're going to open a bank account in a financial institution, you need to disclose your SSN to file for your taxes. Or if you need to access government benefits or programs or things, you need to get your social insurance number at the airport, but that's only When you arrive during working or business hours, or at any service, Canada fits on the weekend. We won't forget to talk about navigating immigration and airports experience. Once you arrive, be ready for immigration and customs questions. If you're traveling through other countries en route, remember to check if you need a transit visa. Opt in for airlines like Ethiopian Airlines, which can bypass some of these issues. Another very important things you will need when you land in Canada is to open a bank account and get a credit or debit card. Don't just open a bank account. It's very important to get either debit card or credit card. Your credit card helps you build a credit history. This credit history is so important in Canada because it helps wherever you want to buy a car, buy or rent a house, or get a loan. And more importantly, if you want to get some apartment in Canada, some apartments landlord always check your credit history. Lastly, finding accommodation in Canada can be a bit stressful as a newcomer. My advice when it comes to finding accommodation as new immigrants is plan a temporary accommodation first before you arrive in Canada. Most people use Airbnb, some people use hotels, and some people also use monthly apartments, where you can pay for your apartment every month. So you don't need to sign any contract or sign any lease for a certain period of time. This option is convenient, and within a couple of days or a couple of weeks you stay in that monthly apartment's accommodation. You can use the opportunity to check out apartments and accommodation. You can also use the opportunity to tour the Canadian cities, explore around, see places, meet new people, alongside reviewing the apartment. And finally, websites like Rent Panda, or Facebook Market to get your favorite apartment. To all of you out there that want to achieve all your dreams in Canada, whether it's going smoothly or you're facing challenges, keep your head up. Life with success story is full of ups and downs, and what matters is your perseverance. Don't let setbacks define you. And remember, you're not alone. There's a whole community here rooting for you. Alright, my fellow adventurers, that's a wrap for today's video. I truly hope this detailed breakdown of what you need to do before and after arriving in Canada has been helpful. If you found this valuable, please show your support by hitting that like button, sharing this video, and subscribing to our channel. Easy work abroad. And hey, if you have questions or topics you'd like me to cover, drop them in the comments section. Until next time, stay positive, stay informed, and keep making strides toward your Canadian dream. Take care and see you soon.